Okay, I think we are live. Hello, guys, and welcome back to Fox to Fox Report. But most importantly, welcome to the post match review of the match yesterday between England and Iran. First game of the World Cup for the Three Lions, and what a victory! 6-2. Now, a lot to talk about, but first and foremost, let's not get over our heads about this performance. Given the fact, yes, Iran had an impressive outcome in previous World Cups, only drawing 1-0 by just one goal against impressive teams like Argentina, like Spain, like Portugal. So, given the fact with this score 6-2, it makes England one of the most teams to be recently beating Iran by more than 3 goals. So, what does that tell you? That tells you going back into 2018, 2014, 2010, and 2002, I believe they did. Oh, no, they did make that World Cup. So, practically 20 years. Not a single team could beat Iran by more than 3 goals. Impressive for England, but as I say, let's not get over our heads. Why? Because Iran is not as great performance wise compared to the other teams in Group B, same group as England. So, good start, but can't be too satisfied. We have to improve. England has to improve, especially when it comes to defending. 2 simple mistakes being made for Iran's goals, and that is pressing. That is allowing the opposition to come inside the box, take a shot or pass, and then you see what happens. That first goal easily could have been avoidable. But you have Jones there not doing anything, literally looking at the Iran player just pass the ball, give a through ball, and then comes the shot. So certainly things there that have to be improved, but overall going attackingly, I think it is somewhat better, impressive. But of course, there is a couple of things to change upon, but not too drastically like it comes to defending. But the midfield, I believe, lacked structure. Mason Mount taking that midfield area. What are your thoughts about Mount's performance? I'd say I give it a 7. A 7 out of 10 would be my rate for Mount's performance against Iran. That is because I've seen better. And I'm not trying to be, just all about Leicester, the fact that Madison's there and what he can do if he was playing. But I believe there was just some tiny bit of disconnection in the midfield between obviously defensive midfielders and your attackers and wingers. I thought there was some structure that needed to be a little bit much better than it was over in yesterday's match. But of course, when it comes to finishing, crosses inside the box, Sterling, Saka, Jack Grealish, a lot of things, a lot of finishing opportunities that have successfully been done with England. That's great. Great. Of course, don't want to waste those opportunities. Clear opportunities, of course. They scored them, and that's why they got those goals, 6 goals in that match. But first, going over to the lineup from what I wanted to see against Iran versus to what we actually saw in that match. So, first, going over to my lineup and what I want to see. Yesterday, it was the same formations, as we can tell from what Southgate had, a 4-2-3-1. Only 2 changes in that formation that I wanted to see. And that goes over to Maguire starting and I believe Jones starting. So, no. It was Sterling starting. So, Sterling instead of Grealish and Eric Dyer instead of Harry Maguire, but the rest was the same, just switching Jones and Maguire. So, going over to Gareth Southgate's starting 11, and that was, as you see, Maguire in center back left side, Jones on the right, Sterling taking the left, And of course, everything else stays the same. Not a big issue, really, when it comes to Declan Rice and Bellingham up top. The rest is just with Mount. Kind of needs, we'll have to see what we can do about that, because Mount necessarily didn't do as much as we all could expect. Of course, we do have other options like James Maddison, but that's just going forward into just evaluating, seeing what is about Maddison these next coming hours, days, coming forth into the next match that will be against United States. So, overall speaking, the formation was great. Now, players playing in that specific position, some could improve. As I'm always saying, I feel like I'm a broken record. Some could improve, but Harry Kane up top, undisputable. He needs to be there. Sterling, I preferred him on the right. I didn't actually prefer him to start, but if he were to start, I'd put him on the right, but fairly did okay on the left. Saka, need to put him on the right. He is just quick. Finds open spaces, the open runs, finishes opportunities. So great. Great to see him and have him there. Defensive-wise, Harry Maguire, not so bad. Of course, you do see a lack of playing time in Maguire's performance. Certainly slowing down the game a bit, but majority of the time attacking when it comes to corners, set pieces, putting a header, almost scored. Now, some could say in the first half, with that first, I believe, 10 minutes into that match, he was either had his, I think it was his jersey pulled or his arm pulled back. Definitely was a PK. I don't know why the referee didn't call it, but you do see some different performance in Harry Maguire when it comes to playing for England versus playing for Manchester United. So overall, it's the World Cup. Players playing for their country, you obviously have to give your most best performance that you've ever given before for these tournaments. But do you guys think England will finish top of the group? I think so, given how the first match for all teams in that group played out. USA drawing with Wales. I think there's a high chance for England to go and secure their first place spot on Friday when they play United States. But what do you guys rate England's performance 1 out of 10? Given the opposition being Iran, the score, the fact that we had much more possession, you expect, of course, there to be a lot of goals, especially when you have that many benefits in the match. And that is similarly how it played out. Of course, scoring 6 goals, but 2 goals being conceded. So that's another thing that you have to just make sure that, not every opposition is going to be and play like Iran. There's going to be better now with USA, now with Wales, even though they drew. It's all or nothing for them for the next match. And it's a huge opportunity for England to secure their spot into the next stages of the tournament. But going into the current table of Group B, I'll tell you right now what are the spots, and that is, of course, England right now in first place, Wales second, USA third, and Iran fourth. So 1-0-0 for England. Playing USA next, go up to 6. I believe so. They can get that victory. Wales not looking that weak as some may say. I think it'll be a very tough battle for that second place spot between them and USA. But also going into other matches within that group, especially talking about Leicester City players, Danny Ward did not get a start for Wales. I don't know why. Looking at their goalkeeper, Hennessy, having played not a single Premier League season minute for Nottingham Forest, gets to start for Wales? I don't know. I don't know how that works out. But of course, we know how Danny Ward was at the start of the season. Not looking great, making some mistakes. Of course, that transition going into second goalkeeper to first goalkeeper in the Premier League for Leicester City takes time, and it did take some time, but now just within the last previous matches for Leicester, performing great, getting clean sheets. I don't know why he didn't get that start. Must be something with the manager of Wales, just not trusting Ward to transition into the Wales team that quickly. But with that goal being scored against Wales, do you think Danny Ward could have blocked that? If you saw the match, of course. I think so. But yeah, it's really just like a kind of a thoughtful thinking why is Hennessy starting instead of Danny Ward. I don't know, but guys, leave me your thoughts. Put it all in the comment section below. Also, other matches that happened yesterday. Senegal, Papi Mendy suffered a defeat against Netherlands. Now, that match was very close, all the way close to the end. That's when Netherlands scored 2 goals. But the majority of the match, Senegal had a bit more possession, chances, clear chances being taken, but it just successfully didn't go inside the goal. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you're just looking at the player itself. That's what I was looking at, Papi Mendy, how he's playing. And you could say he played pretty good, pretty smart, great long balls. Great to see that getting more playing time, and certainly is an effective player and will be a more effective after this World Cup coming back to Leicester City. But also tomorrow, 3 of our Belgian starters, Youri Tielemans, Faes, and Castagna will be starting their World Cup campaign. And that will be against, I believe, Canada. So will Faes start? I don't know. He didn't start in the friendly. I believe it was against Egypt. Didn't start there. Tielemans did. Castagna did, I believe. So, but that will be something to look out for. Tielemans currently on just one player that's trending as far as transfers goes. Will he leave coming forth this January transfer window, or will he leave coming summer, or will he sign a new contract? But that's just, later talk. But more so now looking at our players. Of course, we want to see our players just be happy, improve, play on the big stage, and represent Leicester City. But the question is, going back into Mason Mount. Like I said, I'm going to say it because Maddison, I believe, should be playing. We all know how Maddison plays distinct player compared to Mason Mount. I saw so many opportunities, so many just, similar plays that happened in that match against Iran where I believe Maddison would have done better, or Maddison would definitely fit in that squad. There's nothing there that I saw yesterday that could say Maddison is, not at this level whatsoever. No. There are so many things that I saw at that match where I could say, Maddison fits perfectly. But of course, that goes to how he is coming from that knee knock he had against West Ham. So I don't know anything yet, whether he's training now with the squad, but seeing how social media is, seeing how he's been posting, of course, supporting England, looking very happy, looking very just motivated to go on and make his start in the World Cup. I believe so. He will come forth for this match against USA. Will he start? Probably not, but come on, perhaps, hopefully, in the second half. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this post-match review between England and Iran. Like I said, it's a good start, but don't get over your heads about it because there is so much work, especially in the defensive side, to improve on, and it only gets harder and harder from this first match. Now, next is USA at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be a match either for USA to have more life in the World Cup or for England to secure their placement in the next rounds of the tournament. But what do you guys think? Will England beat USA? If so, by how many goals? Leave it all in the comment section below. And of course, if you enjoy the content, England, Leicester City, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. But all right, guys, I'll see you next time for the pre-match review that will be as I've always been saying, England versus USA. But guys, take care.